For everyone who's been told it's just a game. For every fan that shed a tear. For every supporter whose loyalty will never waver, we're here. We're here with the gossip, the transfers, the analysis, the insights and the results. For the TV action, there's Sport Today, Football Focus and Final Score. For all the latest updates, there's the BBC Sport website and app, while our social media channels keep you across the global conversation. BBC World News, the global home of football.
Hello and welcome to BBC News, broadcasting at home and around the globe. I'm Adnan Nawaz. Our top stories. Islamic State militants release a video apparently showing the beheading of British aid worker David Haines. The British Prime Minister David Cameron condemns the apparent beheading as an act of pure evil. Ukrainian government troops say they have repelled an attack by pro-Russian rebels on an airport in the east of the country. Campaigning intensifies in Scotland on the last weekend before voters decide whether to remain part of the United Kingdom. Welcome once again to BBC News. We begin with breaking news because the British government says it's working urgently to verify a video which purports to show the beheading of a British hostage held by Islamic State militants. The group had threatened to kill David Haines in retaliation for American airstrikes against it in Iraq. Mr. Haines was abducted in Syria in March last year while he was helping to deliver humanitarian aid. With me is our news correspondent, Andy Moore. Andy, this story broke about an hour and a half ago. What more details do we have?
Well, we've had comments from the British Prime Minister David Cameron. He says this is a despicable and appalling murder of an innocent aid worker. So I think that does authenticate the video. I've seen the video. It's depressingly familiar, following the same pattern we've seen in the previous two videos, the execution of the American James Foley and the American journalist Stephen Sotloff. So you have a 2.5-minute video. It starts with a news clip of David Cameron in Downing Street talking about the need to arm the Peshmerga. It then cuts to the desert, very bright colours in the desert, against a blue sky, no distinguishing marks, and we see the British hostage, David Haines, dressed in orange. Standing over him is apparently a British jihadi. We're not going to show the video, but we have decided to show a still from it. Even so, some viewers may find this still disturbing. But it does show David Haines speaks to the camera, apparently under duress, and he says, "You, David Cameron, are responsible for my execution." We then hear from the jihadi dressed there in black. Again, a British accent. It may not be the same man we've seen in the previous videos, but in a British accent, he talks about David Cameron being a lapdog and Britain being involved in an unwinnable war. We don't see the act of beheading, but we do see the corpse of David Haines. Unfortunately, the video ends, as previous videos have, with another British hostage seen and a threat to execute him. The BBC has decided not to name that man.
Andy, before I come to you again, I just want to read the reaction of Scotland's First Minister, Alex Salmond, has said the release of a video purporting to be the beheading of David Haines has demonstrated a degree of brutality which defies description. Mr. Salmond continues, "It should be remembered that Mr. Haines was in the region as an aid worker helping local people. His murder will be totally condemned by all people with any sense of humanity. Our thoughts, sympathies and prayers are with the family members and friends of Mr. Haines, who have demonstrated both dignity and courage over the past months." That's the statement that's just come to us from the Scottish Government and First Minister Alex Salmond. Everybody will be thinking about David Haines' family, friends. In fact, his family had only just tried to get in touch with the extremists of IS.